Pam Bondi, still backed by Trump. Amid pressure to release Epstein files, Washington, D.C. As public outrage continues to build over the Jeffrey Epstein case and demands grow for the release of the names of those involved, President Donald Trump remains firmly supportive of Attorney General Pam Bondi. Despite simmering frustration within the White House, sources told NBC News that Bondi is not currently at risk of being dismissed, thanks to her unwavering loyalty to the president. Bondi, whom Trump has repeatedly praised as doing a fantastic job, is seen as someone who strictly follows directives from the White House, an attribute that has earned her continued backing from both Trump and Chief of Staff Susie Wild. While prominent conservatives like Megyn Kelly and several right-wing activists have publicly urged Trump to fire Bondi, the president has held his ground. Observers note that this loyalty not only secures Bondi's position, but also illustrates a hallmark of Trump's leadership style, prioritizing personal allegiance over transparency or reform. While segments of the public are demanding full disclosure of the clients tied to Epstein's trafficking network, many Trump supporters are placing the responsibility directly on the president, not Bondi. Trump's decision to continue defending Bondi underscores his effort to maintain control over his inner circle, even as pressure mounts from within his own base, many of whom are demanding the truth behind one of the most controversial scandals in modern American history. GOP accused of dodging Epstein issue amid mounting public pressure, Washington, D.C. As public demands for transparency surrounding the Jeffrey Epstein case grow louder, Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett has delivered a sharp rebuke of the Republican Party for avoiding responsibility in releasing grand jury documents. Speaking on national television, Crockett alleged that many GOP lawmakers are skipping votes and retreating from key debates, signaling deep political fear over the potential fallout of the case. We've seen them dodge it. Some are skipping votes entirely. They know very well that if these files are released, it could severely damage the image of Donald Trump, someone they still view as their supreme leader, Crockett stated. She warned that many Republicans are choosing loyalty to Trump over a commitment to transparency and justice. Analysts say the GOP's silence or inaction on Epstein not only raises questions about integrity within the legislative system, but also highlights the complex relationship between Trump and his political allies. While many MAGA voters believe Trump should be held directly accountable, Republican lawmakers appear unwilling to risk clashing with him, especially in a high-stakes election year. Crockett concluded that the GOP's silence and delays are part of a broader strategy to shield and protect Trump's image, even at the expense of truth and the long-term credibility of America's political system. Texas sparks controversy by fast-tracking redistricting plan to cement GOP power, Austin, Texas. Governor Greg Abbott and Texas Republican lawmakers are facing a wave of backlash after announcing a special legislative session aimed at redrawing congressional maps ahead of schedule, with the goal of creating 5 additional, safe GOP seats. The move is widely seen as a strategic effort to maintain Republican control of the U.S. House in upcoming elections. U.S. Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, a former member of the Texas State House, strongly condemned the action, calling it a form of electoral manipulation designed to silence minority communities. Texas is a majority-minority state. Continually redrawing maps to dilute the voices of people of color is a blatant example of a racially motivated agenda, she stated. Crockett also recalled leading a walkout to disrupt the legislative process in the past to protest controversial voting laws, reaffirming that she and her allies are prepared to continue the fight against efforts that undermine democracy. She warned that the redistricting plan could ultimately backfire, creating new vulnerabilities within the Republican Party and sparking fierce resistance from voters. The people of Texas will not stay silent. We will mobilize, organize, and resist any attempt to silence their voices, she added, sending a clear message to those seeking to cling to power by changing the rules of the game. Crockett urges Democratic states to strike back with redistricting strategy, like Texas, Sacramento, California. As Texas accelerates its redistricting efforts to gain political advantage for the Republican Party, California Governor Gavin Newsom announced he is considering a similar move. Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, a prominent voice in the Democratic Party, has voiced strong support for this counter-strategy, arguing that it's time for Democrats to stop playing by the rules while the opposition does not. We've held on to moral principles for too long, but the rules are now being distorted by a side that no longer respects the Constitution or the law, Crockett said in a recent interview. She emphasized that many Democratic-led states have implemented independent redistricting commissions to ensure fairness, but the imbalance in tactics between the two parties is now endangering democracy itself. Crockett argued that if red states can redraw maps to their benefit without facing consequences, then blue states must do the same to protect voters' voices and restore balance in Congress. We can't keep losing because we're being too righteous in a game where the other side is openly cheating, she stated. She also pointed to the glaring disparities in representation, such as in North Carolina, where redistricting handed Republicans 3 additional seats, as clear evidence that control of the map can determine who controls national power. This isn't just about politics. This is about the survival of American democracy, she concluded. Democrats, ready to dig deep into Trump if they retake the House. There's no shortage of things to investigate. Washington, D.C. As Democrats set their sights on regaining control of the House this November, Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett has made it clear. If that happens, a series of investigations targeting former President Donald Trump and his family will be launched. Speaking on national broadcast, she emphasized, "We've got a treasure trove of violations, of both the law and the Constitution, and the American people deserve to know." Crockett outlined a list of potential investigative priorities, including Trump's alleged violations of the Emoluments Clause by accepting benefits from foreign governments, shady and opaque business dealings, controversial media transactions such as the Paramount affair, and even secretive crypto parties with unidentified guests. She placed special emphasis on the unresolved Jeffrey Epstein case, asserting that the government must fully examine Trump's possible role in obstructing or delaying the release of the names involved in the trafficking network. This is no longer just a political issue. This is a matter of ethics, the rule of law, and transparency, Crockett declared. She said that under Democratic leadership, House committees will work in unison to expose the full truth, from personal misconduct to political and financial corruption. "We will not allow someone who has been convicted on 34 felony counts to escape accountability," she concluded.